Hi everyone, I'm Mandy from Empty Nest Designs, and in this video I'm going to be doing something that is an absolute first for my channel. Probably not the last, but definitely a first. I'm going to be using products that are not my own. So obviously I don't mean like glues and inks or anything, I mean actual stamps that aren't mine. So because this is a first, it had to be something really special that I was going to use, and I am so excited by this collection. Now, I have a few things to tell you as we go along about this collection, but I just want to show you straight away the products I'm going to be using today. And I'll divulge all that information in just a moment. So this is the collection that I'll be using today. So I'm just trying to make sure that you can see that there's nothing reflecting there. Okay, so as you can see, this is very basic and very simple packaging and everything, so I'm going to get into that right now. So let me just set this down. Okay, this artwork has been created by the incredibly talented and just overall wonderful person who I'm blessed to call my friend, Kelly O'Gorman. Now, she is an amazingly talented artist, and I am so happy for her about this collection, and I am genuinely ecstatic that I get to work with it. So this is so new that I don't actually have any packaging. I have no idea what the packaging is going to look like. I have no idea how it's going to come to you when you are able to actually order these. So what I've done is I've literally just taken the stamps, because that's all I have, just the stamps, and I've just stamped them onto a piece of white card so you can actually see a nice clear image of what you're going to get in this particular set. There are other sets that are coming, but I am not going to show you those right now. I am going to just work with this one and let you see some samples of what you can do with her. Now, if memory serves correct, this particular collection of stamps has been inspired by Kelly's own artwork. Now, I don't know if this is the correct name, but this is what I have called this artwork that she does. I call it the Goddess, because, well, just look at her. She is absolutely stunning. She is beautiful, and she is a goddess. I've seen the original artwork that this has been inspired by, and I am in awe of it. Kelly is so unbelievably talented, and it's amazing that you now get to create your own goddess artwork using these products. So as I said, there are more coming. There will be more available, but this is the one I'm going to work with today. Just to reiterate, this is not how it will come to you when they are available and when you can buy them. There will be links at the bottom of the video to show you all of Kelly's social media and everything like that. So check at the bottom of the video for all that information. But how about we just get started? Because I just want to show you something. It does not take long to put together, or you can really take your time and make it a really long project. This isn't going to be a long project as such because I'm just making a card, but you could quite easily turn this into the most amazing artwork, and just, you know, you can gift that, you can hang it in your own home. Either way, it is spectacular. All right, so I'm just going to take this out. As I said, this was just me stamping. I'm so sorry about the rustling, but I just wanted to show you from the beginning all of it. So all I did, piece of white card, and I've stamped that on so that you can see clearly what it is that I'm working with. I'm going to move that out the way. I'm going to grab some acrylic blocks down, ready for when I get started. So a few bits and pieces. Going to need some glue, embossing mat and shaping tool, some scissors. I'm using VersaFine in Onyx Black. I am also using a collection of the Faber-Castell polychromos. I will give you these numbers. I'm going to be working with cadmium yellow, which is 107. Going to be working with rosa pink, and that is 129. Going to be working with 125 middle purple pink, magenta 133, and the purple violet, which is 136. Some more cardstock for me to stamp onto. In a moment you'll understand why. And I've got a 6x6 card blank here that I've cut down a piece of black cardstock and white cardstock to create the matte and layers. So first thing I'm going to do is move the spare piece out of the way and take just the white piece, and I'm going to grab a sheet of paper because I'm going to be stamping over the edge and I don't want to get ink all on my mat. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is stamp her beautiful face. So let me just take the acetate off and move that out of the way. So will it fit on my little one? No, on the next one up. Okay. As you can see, they have been very, very, very well used. So before I get started properly, I'm just going to bring my card blank back in and make sure that I've got the white cardstock the right way, because although this is a square, it does sort of sit with almost rectangular, as one side is longer than the other. So this is exactly how I want it to sit. So I'm going to bring in my VersaFine and just ink her face up. It has been a genuine privilege working with these images and Kelly's artwork in general. I absolutely adore Kelly. I think she's a genuinely lovely human being whose talent is, well, I would love to be able to create images like she does. Let me show you. Look how crisp and clean the stamp prints out for you as well there. So just grab her off, and I'm going to pop on a couple of the stamps onto the acrylic block now, so that I can just get started straight away, so that there's not so much chopping and changing. Okay, let's get those down. Okay, so the next one I'm going to work with is the biggest stamp in the collection, and that is the big floral one. So you use all the elements to create the goddess's hair, and you know, there's no right and wrong. It is literally how you see it and how you want to stamp it. So, you know, take a moment and decide, do you want her windswept, or, you know, just hair flowing down? I'm going to have it almost lined up. So I'm just going to take a moment and just line it how I want it. Give it a good old press. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So the next one I'm going to take is the smaller of the floral elements in the set. Excuse me, got a bit of frog in my throat. And I'm then just going to add this where I want it. So I'm going to probably pop one here to fill out the top of her head. And open this and just leave it open, I think. And again, I might turn it round so it's stamping the other way, and just put it where I want it. Very nice. I think I'm going to use the other floral stamp that's in the set and fill that gap in there. Now, it doesn't matter if you're going over the edge, because the overall effect is just gorgeous. Just ink this up. Okay, so I'm going to pop this just in here. Move that so that you can see clearly. There we go. So I'm thinking that I just want to put something up here to sort of fill out that area there. So I could, you know what, I think I'm going to go with the main image again, the big floral image, and we're going to have her have a whole full divine head of hair. Okay, so let's just take a moment, maybe turn it this way. I'm going to turn this round so that I can do it easier and I'm not leaning across the camera at that point as well. So, oh no, I think I do want it this way, and I just want to kind of have it flowing around here. I don't want to cover up any of the other images, so I'm being very careful as to where I'm placing it. Going really off the page there. Lovely. And I think at this point I'm going to add in the butterfly just here so that it fills the gap and that it just looks completed. So just there. There we go. And I am really happy with that. So let me move the sheet from underneath so you can see the image clearer. What do you think so far? It's such an unusual concept, isn't it? I love it. I love that, you know, you're not likely to make the same image twice. I love that, all in all, it's however you want it. You know, you could bring more down here and fill in this part down here, but I'm really happy with this as it is. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring the spare piece that I had earlier, and I'm just going to stamp out the butterfly. And well, I won't talk you through that, I'll just show you. It makes much more sense, doesn't it? Okay, move that over there. So I'm going to take the big image, we'll do that first, and then we'll work around that. I may need another piece of cardstock, but we will just work around that. Okay, so let's pop this on. I love all the detail she's drawn in, the shading, all the lines of the flowers, and just how everything looks incredible. And then next I'm going to grab butterfly. Just pop him here. And I'm going to grab a piece of scrap card and just take some of this ink off because I want to take him straight off the stamp. I don't want to get my fingers covered. And I'm going to grab the smaller floral element that fits nicely on my little acrylic block here. Just give that a push to make sure it's on. And then stamp. Okay. So the reason I'm doing this is because I want you to see exactly what I've already gone ahead and done. So I'm just going to try and make sure I don't got inky fingers everywhere. Move everything out of the way. Give my hands a bit of a wipe just in case. Okay, so what I have done is I've then grabbed my pencils and I've started colouring elements of these. So I'm going to turn this round. Oh, bit of rubbish there. I'm going to turn this round and I'm going to show you, I'm not going to colour the whole thing in because I just want to show you how I've done it. So using the polychromos, I have found that the key is, let me make sure I'm in shot properly for you here. The key is to apply light layers many times, as opposed to just going in really heavy-handed from the beginning. Because with your cardstock, if you apply light layers, the fibres stay open. If you go in heavy, you close the fibres and you can't lay down more colour at that point. So using my darkest shade of the purples, which is the this is the magenta, and this is the 135. Sorry, is that the 133? Yeah, sorry, 133. I'm going to go to the base of the petal, or the petals, and just lay down the first part of the colour. As you can see, I'm making the edge uneven, and I'm not pressing heavy at all. I'm just going round the flower, and then I'm going to my next colour. My next colour is then the mid-tone, which is the 125, the middle purple pink, and I'm going to where I ended the first colour, and I'm colouring in the midsection of the petals. Again, I'm not pressing hard, I'm just pressing lightly, rotating my work as I go so that I'm not bending all around the work. The work is working for me. It doesn't take long to build up the flower. Then I'm going to my lightest tone, which is the 129, the Rosa Pink Madder Lake. And I'm going to, where I finished the mid-tone, slightly cover the edges of that, and then I'm going to lightly go to the outer edges of the petals. Now I'm hoping this is coming up okay on screen for you there. I will lift it up and show you in just a moment, because I want you to see how just the single layer looks versus what will be the multiple layers. Okay, so let me just pick this up to show you. So as you can see, hopefully that's not blurry. I'm going to stand up and make sure it's not. No, that's not blurry. So excuse my chair squeaking. So as you can see, I've got the contrast colour going around the edge, the centre points of the trumpet flower, and I've got the darker in the middle, the mid-tone, and then out to the pale tone. And I'm going to repeat that process on this flower. So starting with the darker at the base of the petals this time. Again, not pressing hard. But just laying the colour over the same point at which I have already done, and you'll see that it starts to become more intense. So the mid-tone. You'll see me using swirls every now and again, because I find I don't press as hard if I'm swirling the pens. I don't know why, I just do. So the lighter tone, just all the way around to the edges and going over the areas that I have already done. And I know this seems like a lot, but I'm going to do it a third time, because this is where you'll really start to see the colours now. So I'm not pressing hard again, I'm just bringing out the colours because I'm layering them. You know, if you work with alcohol marker pens, how you start with your lightest shade all over the image you want to use, and then you add the darker colour and then the mid-tone and finish with the light colour again. This is the same principle, but this is the final layer. For me anyway. I'm confident that if you wanted to, you could add a fourth, but I think that the colours at this point become really nice and apparent. So I will lift it up again to show you, and you'll be able to see how much darker the colours look. And again, it's not pressing hard, it is just layering the pencils. all I'm going to do before I show you is take the purple that is in the contrast section of the trumpet, and I'm just going to go over that again, just so that that stands out a little more. And I'm going to take a yellow and pop that just in the center there. You won't see it too much, but it just finishes the flower off. So let me just pull this up so that you can see. See how more intense the color is now? So all I have done is picked out certain points. So I've done all 3 of the flowers, and the bigger flower from the smaller floral piece along with the butterfly, and I've cut these out. I've coloured them in and I've cut them out already. I do want to show you how really easy it is to cut them out, and don't be afraid to, you know, snip into your work or anything. It's really not a problem. Ultimately it is just a stamped image, so it doesn't take long to chop these up. So just follow the edge, bit of weaving in and out because Kelly has drawn these quite realistically, so you've got all your little fluted edges on the petals there. As you can see, this one is almost finished. Doesn't take long to do at all, just following the edges. Almost done, and back to the beginning, and oh, snip that a little bit off, a little bit there, and done. Now, because I'm going to shape these, I'm actually going to snip into them. So just take a moment and realize which part is the actual where the petal would separate. So a good tip on this particular flower is that the contrasting color going, the 5 points that run up, they are the center of the petal. So I'm just going to follow the lines that are there and are apparent. I'm just going to follow those round, making sure not to go too far in, but just going up to where the stamen is, so that I can then shape them. But the lines that you follow are quite apparent. You know, Kelly has done a really incredible job. Have a quick look and see if you've left yourself any corners or edges. If you have, just snip that ever so slightly, just to take away any harsh corner, because it would be more rounded on a real flower. Just a bit there. But as you see, it doesn't take long to colour them in, and it doesn't take long to cut them out. So let me move this to the side, throw the rubbish away. I'm going to grab my shaping mat. I'm going to spritz the back of the flower, just so that when it dries it helps hold its shape a bit more. I'm going to give that a second for the water to absorb. And then I'm going to take a flower shaping tool and literally just curve the petals one by one so they get a nice shape. Flip it over using the smaller end of the tool, pop it in the center, and there we have a nice shaped little flower. So let me move all this out of the way and dry my mat, because it is now wet where I spritzed it. Okay, so I'm going to bring the image back in. There's a bit of glitter on there now. I'm going to bring the image back in, and I'm going to stick this to the card now. So let me grab my glue. I'm also going to turn on my hot glue. You can use a wet glue for this, but I just find that the hot glue will, it dries faster, and you can stand the flowers up easier. They just kind of sit exactly how you want them to at that point. So let's just pop this down. Sorry if that's off screen, let me move it over for you. Although I really am just gluing the black piece of cardstock to the white card blank. Lining up, make sure I've got it on even, which I have not. This is quite a quick grab glue, so I'm struggling to move it, but that's fine. I've got it in place. Turn it over, give it a press from behind to make sure the glue spreads out evenly. And then do the same with the image that we've stamped. So let me just make sure the card opens the right way, which it does, and get this one down as well. Excuse me, I do have a frog in my throat today. So I'm really hoping that, like me, you are loving the imagery here. And I am looking forward very much to showing you some of the other ones that are coming. But for now, it's just this one that I'm working with today. Obviously, the collection is more goddesses, and you would be able to take images from each collection and mix and match them across all the stamp sets. Okay, so I'm going to grab my little pot that's got all the ones I did earlier. Pour this in. Move them over and check that my glue gun is getting nice and hot. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm not going to colour the images on here. I just want to have picked out highlights from her hair that I'm going to use. So, and because all the flowers are shaped, it will be a little difficult for you to see which one has come from where and to line it up exactly. But I don't think that's a problem, to be honest. I think it is just a matter of adding some interest. I'm going to flatten them out slightly as I go, and I can see that this one does belong right here. So I'm going to pop that one on there. I'm going to use glue gun and just put a little blob of glue right in the center there and sit this one exactly where I want it. Don't worry about the stragglers of the glue gun, that's inevitable. You can take them off as you go. I'm going to press this down a little bit so it opens up just a smidge, because I think that's so pretty. And I'm going to do the same with all the other ones that I've cut out. But obviously I'm going to sort of pretend that this one belongs right there. It doesn't, but that's what I'm going to go with. This is the one that I just did now. So we're just going to line it up as best as I can, considering it doesn't actually belong there. So let me turn it so it looks like it almost does. There we go. And you two are from that. So this one belongs on here. If you look, there's a little curl on the petal here, so I'm just going to match that to the curl on the one in my hand. Oops. The glue gun really does grab instantly. It's very, very convenient. And again, just going to line this one up using a specific, there's a curl on that petal there. Let me find it. There it is. So I now know that I'm matching this particular petal. Trying not to put my finger in the glue, because anyone that's used a glue gun and caught themselves before knows that really can hurt. Oh, so pretty. So the other ones I've done are the two big ones from here, and I can obviously see what part goes where because there's a big opening at the bottom. Just kind of push the petals open a little so that it sits nicely. Beautiful. And that just leaves the lovely butterfly. Just taking off some of the stragglers there. I've actually cut the butterfly out twice. I stamped and coloured and cut the butterfly out twice so that I could get some real dimension on the wings here. So I'm going to kind of just layer up my glue a little bit so that he sits really up and proud. And then I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on the body so that that holds there, and then I'm going to layer up just the front of the petal on this one because that's all I've done, and just pop that on like so, so that there is some glue, and that it sits up proud. Let me turn my glue gun off and give him a wiggle before he dries completely, and I can't move him because I accidentally moved him out of place. Just give that a second, grab the stragglers that I can see there. And that is basically the card finished. I think the only other thing that I would do is potentially colour her lips, which I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to take the darker colour that we used in the base of the petals and just lightly go over her lips. Don't want to put too much colour on here because this is just a little finishing touch. And then the purple that I used in the contrast, I'm going to lay just in her eyelids here. Just sort of following the natural curve that Kelly's created with the drawing. There we go. And that is the goddess finished. Let me hold that up for you so you can have a nice good look. I will take an up-close picture of this as well and pop it across my social media. I'm sure Kelly will have it on hers too. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, all the information on where you can find myself and Kelly will be underneath this video. All our social media links will be there. So come along and give us a follow and let us know what you think. And bye for now.